Okay, today we are proceed for the new point, that is friction. Now let us see what is meant by friction. The force which oppose the movement or tendency of movement is called the friction force or simply friction. When body is in motion, in that condition, or it may be subjected to any kind of an loading. Now let us consider one block is resting over the ground and we are applying the P force, and this P force, to oppose this force, the body is producing the equal opposite resisting force, that is called the friction force F. Friction force F, the force which oppose the moment or tendency of movement is called friction force. This force F is opposing to this P force. If this P force is exceeding to this F force, the body is impending to motion. Body will be moving in this direction. Okay, and this force is opposing force is called as a friction force. Now there are the various types of friction. Now let us see first of all limiting friction. The maximum value of friction force which comes into play when the motion is impending is known as limiting friction. When the body is under limiting friction, as I have told you, now if this body is subjected to P force and the resisting force F is developing, and this resisting force is nothing but what? Limiting friction. Now if we are increasing this load by 10, this value will be automatically producing the same intensity 10. If we are applying this load of 20, it will be producing equal and opposite of force 20. If we are applying the force of 30, it will be producing the value of 30. But up to the certain limit, that limit is called as limiting friction. Now let us consider this 30 is the limit. Now if we are increasing this value of 40, this value is not be increasing, it will be remains 30. If we are increasing this force to 50, it will be remains 30 over here. But due to this force is goes on increasing, what will happen? Up to the limiting point, the body is in stable condition. But after this 30 kilonewton load, after this limiting friction load, what will happen? Body is impending in the motion. Body is tend to be going in the motion. Body is moving from that position to the something next position. Okay, due to this applied load is increasing, the body is subjected to the motion. Now this force up to which the body is in stable condition is called limiting friction. The maximum value of friction force which came into play when the body is impending is known as limiting friction. Okay, now the next part is the static friction. It may be noted that when the body is applied tangential force is less than limiting friction, then the body is at rest, and such friction is called static friction. Now if you see here, as I have told you, this block is subjected to P force, and here this friction force is developing. Now as we have told you previously, this load is we have increased from 10 to 30. The 30 what we have decided is the limiting friction, but lower than that, that is 10, 20, 25, 5, all this value which is less than the limiting friction is called a static friction, and under this load, body is in stable condition. Body is not moving, the body is stable, but more than this, the body will be in the motion. Okay, it may be noted that when the applied tangential force is less than the limiting friction. It means that 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 25, all these values are under less than limiting friction, and that all these values are static friction. The body remains rest. Remains rest, and such friction force is called static friction. Such friction force is called static friction. Now dynamic friction. If the value of applied tangential force exceed the limiting friction, if this value is greater than this 30, it means let us say 40, 50, and so on. Under this condition, what will happen? The body is in motion. If this value force is exceeding the limiting value, what we have decided, let us say 30 is our limiting value, and the force, this applied force is increased up to 40 and 50. In that condition, the body starts moving over the another body, and frictional resistance experience while moving, and such a friction is called a dynamic friction. Friction is existing for every condition. Body is in static condition or in dynamic condition, friction force is always existing, and limiting friction is the friction up to which the body is try to impeding the motion. Okay, this will be the 30 is our limiting friction, less than 30 all these are static friction, and greater than 30 all these are the dynamic frictions. Now let us see next one. This dynamic friction is again further classified into two groups. One is sliding friction. It is the friction experienced by a body when it is slide over the another. As we know that when body is slide over the another body is called sliding friction, and it is the part of an dynamic friction. Body is impending in the motion, or body is in motion. That's why it is called a dynamic friction. Body is in motion is called a dynamic friction, and sliding friction is the one of the type of the dynamic friction. One body slides over the another body. Rolling friction, it is the friction experienced by the body when it is rolled over the another body. Roll, as we know that the two-wheeler or four-wheeler, it is roll over the roads because of wheels. Okay, and it is producing the rolling friction, and under that condition the body is in motion. Now let us see the coefficient of friction. It is very important term in the friction part. It has experimentally proved that between two contact surfaces, the magnitude of limiting friction bears a constant ratio to the normal reaction. Between the two, this ratio is called a coefficient of friction. Now if you see here, if this body, as we know that the weight of this block is W, and we are applying the external force P over here. Now this external force P and this friction force F, these are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. This W, it is having the intensity W, it will be producing the reaction N over here. Now here, to oppose this P force, the friction force F is developing. To oppose this W force, the N, that is N is the reaction which is developing over here. Now here the ratio of this N and F is nothing but what the coefficient of friction, and it is always constant. Now referring this figure, the body weight W is being pulled by the force P, and the motion is impending. Let N is the normal reaction and F is the limiting friction. Then according to this statement, the coefficient of friction nu is given by F upon N. The coefficient of friction is denoted by letter nu. Coefficient of friction is denoted by the letter nu. Then nu is equal to F upon N. Then nu is equal to F upon N. Now let us see the laws of friction. There are the various laws. Experimental studies by the Coulomb. He is the one of the scientists. He has made the various experiments in 1781, and this Coulomb's law of dry friction is listed below. Now let us see very first law. The friction force always act in a direction opposite that is which the body is moving. The body is moving. Now let us see this block. Due to the applied force P, due to this P force, the body will be moving in this direction. That's why the friction force which is developing is in opposite direction. Direction opposite to that in which body tends to move. The body tends to move. This one is the first law. The friction force always act in a direction opposite that in which the body tends to move. Second law, till the limiting value is reached, the magnitude of friction force is exactly equal to tangential force which tends to move the body. As what we have previously said, that up to the limiting friction, this P value, if we are increasing, accordingly the friction force F is also increasing till the limiting value reach. As what we have previously said, that this value 10, 20, 30, what we have increasing up to limiting. Now let us consider 30 is the limiting value. Up to the 30 value, the limiting value is reached, the magnitude of friction force is exactly equal to tangential force. It means that when it is the applied force is 10, the friction force is also 10. When the applied force is 20, friction force is also 20. When the applied force is 30, friction force is 30, and 30 is the limit, and beyond that it will not be increasing. Okay, it means that according to second law, till the limiting value is reached, the magnitude of friction force is exactly equal to the tangential force which tends to move the body. Okay, now let us see the third law. The magnitude of limiting friction bears a constant ratio to the normal reaction between the two contact surfaces. Now, as we have previously said that according to the coefficient of friction, nu is equal to F upon N. The same statement is written over here. And fourth one, the force of friction depends upon roughness oblique smoothness of the friction surface. What it depends upon? What? The roughness and smoothness of the surface. It is totally depends upon. When the surface is rough one, the friction force is more. When the surface is smooth one, the friction force will be less. If body is moving over the rough surface, the more friction will be developing over the body, and when the body is moving over the smooth surface, the less friction force will be developing between the bodies. Next, the force of friction is independent of area of contact. It is independent of area of contact. It means that if this block is resting over this, and now let us say this small block is also resting over this, the area of contact between these two are different. This block is smaller one, that's why the area of contact is small. This block having the larger area, that's why the contact area of this block is more. But the friction force is independent of the area of contact. But the friction force is independent of area of the contact. This one is the fifth statement. Now let us see the next one. After the body starts moving, the dynamic friction came into play, the magnitude of which less than the limiting friction, and it bears a constant ratio to the normal force. This ratio is called coefficient of dynamic friction. Now, as we have previously said that the dynamic friction come into play after the body is in motion, and this dynamic friction is always less than the limiting friction. And as we have seen that the coefficient of friction here also for the dynamic friction, the coefficient of friction is existing, and it is also bearing the constant ratio to the normal reaction or normal force. And all these are the laws of friction, or it may be called it as a Coulomb's law of dry friction. Now let us see one by one again. Now here, first, the friction force is always acted direction opposite to which the body is tend to be moved. Second, the limiting value till the limiting value reach, the magnitude of friction force is exactly equal to tangential force. Magnitude of limiting friction bears a constant ratio to the normal reaction, that is the new value, that is the coefficient of friction. The force of friction depends upon roughness and smoothness of the contact surfaces, and the force of friction is independent of the area of contact. And the body, when it is start moving, the dynamic friction is existing, and this dynamic friction also bears a constant ratio to the normal force, and this ratio is called coefficient of dynamic friction. All these are the laws of frictions. Now let us proceed. Angle of friction. Now if you see over here, this P force, to oppose this P force, the friction force is developing. To oppose this self weight, normal reaction is developing. Now here these two forces, F and N, it is producing the resultant force R. Due to these two reaction component F and N, it is producing an reaction component R, which is making an angle theta with the vertical. Now here this angle theta is nothing but what? Your angle of friction. The angle which is made by this resultant force with the vertical axis is nothing but what? Angle of friction. Considering this block as shown in the figure, subjected to the force P, let F is the friction force developed and N is the normal reaction developed. Thus, at the contact surfaces, reaction are F and N. As we know that F and N are the two reactions. They can be combined to get the resultant reaction R, that is what we have shown over here, and act at an angle theta to the normal reaction. This angle is given by, now if you see here, this angle is given by, now if you are making this triangle over here, this force is F, this force is N, and this angle is theta over here. Now tan theta is nothing but what? Opposite side upon adjacent side, that is F upon N over here. That's why tan theta is equal to F upon N. If the friction force increases, now if your friction force is increasing, theta increases, it can be reached the maximum value when the limiting force of friction is reached. As we know that F is increasing, P is increasing, F is also increasing. And when F is reached to the limiting value, thus when the motion is impending, this value is, let us say, alpha, and is called as angle of limiting friction. When this value is reached, this theta value to alpha angle. Alpha angle is when it is observed when your friction force is maximum one. When it is maximum, when it is reaching to the limiting value of the friction. When the value is of 30 as we have previously said in the various cases, 10, 20 and 30 are our limiting value. When it is reaching to the maximum value of limiting value, in that condition, whatever may be the angle made over here, that angle we are consider as alpha angle, and that angle is called as angle of limiting friction. Angle of limiting friction. And below that, all these angles are angle of friction only. And when it is reaching to the maximum value, limiting value, then this angle is called angle of limiting friction. Now the next is, and that is tan alpha is equal to f upon n, or it may be called as nu, that is coefficient of friction. Hence the angle of limiting friction can be defined as the angle between the resultant reaction and the normal to the plane on which the motion of body is impending. That is called as an limiting friction. It is next is the angle of repose. Now it is very well known, when the grain, that is the food grain, sand, cement, soil are hooped, these exist a limit of inclination of hoops. Beyond that, the grain starts rolling down. The limiting angle up to which the grain repose, that is the slips, is called as angle of repose. And here the angle made by the plane to the horizontal is called angle of friction at the contact surface. The maximum inclination of plane on which the body free to external force and repose, that is slips, is called angle of repose. On which inclination this body is repose or slips over this inclined plane, that angle is called as the angle of repose. And as we know that this weight is, we are divided into a normal component and parallel to the plane and normal to the plane. As we know that normal to the plane is w cos theta and parallel to the plane is w sin theta. And as per the division, if you are f upon n ratio is nothing but what? Tan theta over here. And if this theta is value, phi value is reaching to the theta value, when the body is impending, the friction force will be limiting force, and hence this tan theta is impending to tan phi, that is f upon n. And as we know that f upon n is nothing but what? Nu, that is the coefficient of friction. It means that your phi and alpha are equal, and this value of angle of repose is the same as the value of limiting friction, limiting angle of friction is called, and this is nothing but what? Angle of repose. Then cone of friction. Now if you see over here this diagram, this P force, applied force, if we are rotating this P force by 360 degree, what will happen? The resultant which is made by these two forces is also rotating, and this makes an angle, or it makes an cone shape over here, and that is nothing but what? Cone of friction. When the body is having impending motion in the direction of P, the friction force will be limiting friction, and the resultant reaction R will make an limiting friction angle. As we know that this angle is limiting alpha. When the normal, as shown in the figure, if the body having impending motion in some other direction, the resultant reaction makes limiting friction angle to the normal, with the normal. Thus, if the direction of P force is gradually changing through 360 degree, the resultant R generates a right circular cone with a semi-central angle equal if the resultant reaction lies on the surface of this inverted rectangular circular right circular cone whose semicentral angle is limiting friction angle. The motion of body is impending. If the resultant is within this cone, the body is stationary. This inverted cone with semicentral angle equal to limiting friction angle is called a angle of friction. Is called a angle of friction.